I think Mazda's Kodo design is one of the most beautiful design languages in the car industry. It works really well on sedans, it works really well on crossovers, it works really well on hatchbacks. But how well does it work on a truck? This beside me is the Mazda BT-50, and it's the first time that we're seeing the Kodo design on a truck. Does it work? Is it worth the money? Let's find out. So previous BT-50s were all based on the Ford Ranger platform. This is the first one to be based on an Isuzu platform. This shares the same platform with the Isuzu Dmax. So the mechanicals are almost the same. It gets the same engine, the same transmission, the same suspension. And that's not a bad thing, especially for a diesel pickup like this, since Isuzu is well known for making dependable diesels. So if the innards are Isuzu, the shell is clearly and unmistakably Mazda. So like I said, it gets the Kodo design treatment at the front. So this is the middle range variant. This is the BT-50 4x2 model. This gets LED projector headlights, but unlike the 4x4 model, this doesn't get the circular halos. Of course, it gets Mazda's signature grille. And I love this about Mazda's, the brow ridge. It gives the car a more intimidating look. And it also gets this prominent chin over here, which gives it a stronger jawline. By the way, this over here is an option, but it's something that you can get for free if you're among the first 200 to buy the BT-50 in the Philippines. So the first time I saw this, I wasn't sure if I liked it, but in person, I think it works. If the Dmax looks rugged and macho, I think this looks more premium and elegant. So the BT-50 shares the same platform with the Dmax, so the dimensions are pretty much the same. But from this angle, you can more clearly see that this is based on the Dmax. I think the door shells are the same, both the front and rear door shells. So this 4x2 variant gets 17-inch wheels. The top of the line gets 18s. And I think these definitely look better than the electric fan blades on the Dmax. By the way, these fender flares are also an optional accessory, but you can get them for free if you're among the first 200 to buy the BT-50 in the Philippines. Okay, from the back, it looks very similar to other pickups in the market. You get halogen tail lamps, you get a body-colored bumper. This 4x2 variant gets rear parking sensors. You also get a rear view camera. So like the BT-50, you don't get an assisted lift gate. Yeah, it's heavy. So a bed liner comes as standard on the 4x2 model. This right here, again, is an optional accessory, which you can also get for free if you're among the first 200 to buy the BT-50 in the Philippines. All variants of the BT-50 will get Isuzu's 3-liter 4JJ3 engine. So this produces 190 horsepower and 450 Newton-meters of torque. And it's coupled to the same 6-speed automatic transmission. Mazda is known for making premium interiors. And I've seen the top-of-the-line 4x4 variant. That one definitely looks premium. This 4x2 model obviously has to do some cost cutting, so it can be sold at a lower price. So you get more plastics here. This is plastic, plastic, plastic. This is leather wrapped. This is leather wrapped though, the top of the dashboard. So like the Dmax, you also get dual glove boxes here. The top one is dampened, and like the Dmax, the bottom one is not dampened. It just falls like that. So you get single zone climate control. So I like the fact that this is still leather wrapped. It's a good place to rest your knee when you're driving. So it gets a manual handbrake. You get two very deep cup holders over here. Now if you have small cups, that's going to be a problem, because unlike the Dmax, you don't get cup holders here next to the air con vents. The steering wheel is polyurethane. Yeah, it is. It's a bit softer though compared to other polyurethane steering wheels. There's a bit of give to it. So it's basically the same as the steering wheel of the Dmax, except that you get a Mazda logo here. Also, this one comes with a traditional key. So you have to put the key in the keyhole right here to start the car. Yeah, it's been a while since I last did that. So this is your screen over here. It's a lot smaller than the one on the Dmax. You get Apple CarPlay, you get Android Auto, and you also get a reverse camera. Let's see. Yeah. Also, like the Dmax, you don't get active guidelines. You got hill descent control. You have one USB port over here and one aux jack. You get one 12-volt outlet. The armrest is plastic, and you get about the same storage as the Dmax. So the top of the dashboard is leather wrapped. I wish the leather was placed elsewhere, like over here on the armrest or on the steering wheel, because these are the parts of the car that you touch the most. The seats are fabric. They're both manually adjustable. So yeah, the interior looks nice. I think it looks nicer than the interior of the Dmax. Not quite premium though, but definitely the 4x4 variant has a much nicer interior than this. So here at the back, it's practically the same as the Dmax. You got the same legroom, the same headroom. You also get two air vents over here, and you get one USB port. You don't get a center armrest, and you don't get any cup holders here. You do get a hanger though, and you get plenty of grab handles. Very important for a pickup like this. Okay, so we're now driving the Mazda BT-50, and unsurprisingly, it sounds and feels almost exactly like the Dmax. Like the Dmax, it also has hydraulic steering, which may not be as light as the steering of the Ranger, but it's still lighter than the steering of the Navara and the Strada. So it has the same engine as the Dmax, and like the Dmax, it is quite audible. You can very much hear it at 1,500 and higher. So the engine has 190 horsepower and 450 Nm of torque. And the transmission tends to prefer keeping the revs high, close to 2,000 RPM before shifting. So you can very much hear the engine, especially when you give it a bit of throttle. As far as ride quality is concerned, it's okay on roads like this. I didn't get to spend as much time with the BT-50, but I did get to spend a week with the Isuzu Dmax LS-A 4x4. And in terms of suspension, they're exactly the same. I got to drive the Dmax on various types of terrain. I got to drive it on the highway, in the city, and also off-road. So the suspension is not as soft as the Ranger and the Navara, but I think it's still relatively comfortable for a pickup. If you're used to driving pickups, you might even say that this is comfortable, but if you're coming from crossovers, expect it to be a bit more jarring than what you're used to. So this is the 4x2 model, which is almost exactly the same as the Dmax LS-A 4x2. But the top of the line BT-50 4x4 comes with a differential lock, which is one thing that the Dmax is lacking. So that's one advantage of the BT-50 over the Dmax, at least when it comes to the top of the line models. The Mazda BT-50 only comes in 3 variants, a lot less than the 9 variants of the Dmax. And the names of the variants are a lot easier to remember. You have the BT-50 4x2 automatic, you have the BT-50 4x2 manual, and you have the BT-50 4x4 automatic. So it's a lot easier to choose a variant. Just ask yourself two questions. Do you want a 4x2 or a 4x4? Do you want a manual or an automatic? And you've narrowed your choice down to one variant. This 4x2 variant sells for 1,430,000 pesos, just a bit more expensive than the Dmax LS-A. The Mazda gets projector LEDs, while the Dmax only gets halogen reflector headlamps, which look a lot less cool. The Dmax gets a bigger 10-inch screen. If you're among the first 200 to buy the BT-50, you get a few more perks like a bed cover. In the end though, they're pretty evenly matched, as they're pretty much the same vehicle under the skin. It all boils down to a matter of taste. Do you like rugged and macho, or do you like sleek and elegant? If it's the latter, then this is your truck. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.